the link.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, hello everybody. Stu is also here. We'll start in like 2 minutes. We'll start. So we're waiting that everybody will join us. Okay. Make sure we're live. Hey, good morning, everybody. Nothing. I'm sending out messages to the WhatsApp group.
A bit more light.
Okay. Great. I see people are coming in. Okay, great, everybody. Also, people will join a little bit later. So, guys, meanwhile, please press like this this live. Press like and also comment. Give us a comment. What are your business? What are you doing exactly? So we can make the live like more direct to you. And also, I want to really thanks Stu. I'm a student of Stu. I learned a lot, the majority of my knowledge from the Stu courses, and it's a really big honor that Stu with us today. And Stu, you can. It's your stage.
Thank you, Barak. I appreciate the greeting, and it's great to be here sharing knowledge. You know, AI is, you know, when you get beyond the buzzword and you get beyond the hype, it's actually an extremely powerful tool with a lot of utility in business today. And a lot of people have sort of not woken up to just how powerful it is. So what I'll be taking you through today is just, you know, high level, how to start leveraging AI, not just to survive what's coming down the barrel with AI, but also to give you an edge in the market. It's already tough enough to do business. My phone never rings. I'm in a foreign country. I'm in Thailand, and my phone just decided to ring, which is way over there running my hotspot. So if you can hear that, I apologize. Is that coming through? It's very frustrating.
Yeah, we hear you. It's good.
Excuse me one moment.
Okay, good morning, everybody. Good morning from sunny Tel Aviv. I'm in innovation media, lecturing and consulting. Great. Marketing strategy business. Great. We'll be we'll be in 1 minute, and we'll start. Great.
Oh, sorry about that. It was just just okay. Spam calls, really, but my phone was on the other side of the room plugged in. The joy of traveling. I don't have my full studio. So sorry about that. So yeah, we're going to take you through some just practical ways you can use AI right now. So you're not out-competed. In fact, you're the one out-competing others in the market. As I was just saying before that interruption, you know, it's hard enough to do business in today's environment. I can only imagine what it's like for you guys with the disruption that's hit your country since October. So, you know, how can we use AI to move our business forward? And that's what I want to just sort of inspire you with today. Very exciting.
Great. So we have right. So people share that we have a tour guide in Israel, marketing strategy business, and innovation, media, lecturing, and consulting. So all sorts of businesses here, guys. Also, I see a new participant. So also share what are you doing? What is your business that we can direct and help you specifically. So give a like to the live and share in the comments. What do you do? Great.
Just let me know when you're ready to bring up the slides and get started.
So you can share the slide and we'll start.
Okay. Can we still see that okay? Did it work?
Yeah.
Yep, there it is. Look at that. So when I'm changing slides, I won't be able to see. I'll flick back and forth. I don't imagine that's just going to work. No. Okay, folks. So how can we use AI to grow and stay ahead? So we're just going to dive in and explore that. If you have any questions, I do have room at the end for some questions. But if it's a burning question, just interrupt me because I can't see the screen. I don't have my two monitors as I'm traveling. Let me hide that little screen sharing note. Okay, so who am I and why should you listen to me? What would I know about AI? But I appreciate the introduction, and we do have courses and a pretty strong community behind us. But I'm a co-founder of Evolution Unleashed. I made the decision to go all in on AI in March this year. It was a scary sort of leap into the unknown, but having lived through the birth of the internet and seeing the transformation that that had on society and understanding how much I squandered many of the opportunities that existed in the early days of the internet, I'm determined not to pass up what is going to be probably the greatest technological revolution of our lifetimes. In fact, potentially in all of humanity. I've been self-employed since 2008. Before that, my last paid job, I was a national sales manager for Logitech in my home country, New Zealand. And 2008, I went out on my own and have been self-employed ever since. And as I mentioned this year, diving headfirst into AI. My specialty was in marketing and business systems, automation, streamlining. We mainly worked with agencies to help them streamline their agency model, acquire customers more consistently. And what we've been able to do is take a lot of what we did in that expertise and blend it and use it with AI to do some amazing things. And we'll be covering some of that today. So this should take around 20 to 30 minutes. I'll try and speak slowly, and hopefully there's a recording that you can access afterwards.
Yeah, there will be a recording in the Facebook group, so people can see it also after.
Nice. And I also have a Google Doc. We'll be showing you 3 prompts today, and I've got those for you for free. So there are some useful little prompts that you're going to get your hands on today. And as you'll see from our prompts, they're not your 1 or 2 liners. Our prompts can be up to 2,000 words long. But before we get started, I just want to dispel 3 myths about AI. Number 1, if you are on social media, you're going to see a lot of posts about ChatGPT getting dumber. It's just not true. The reasoning, the persuasiveness is so impressive. And when you have really good prompt engineering or structured, solid prompts with defined sort of outputs that you're looking for, you most certainly wouldn't call it getting dumber. The improvement just recently with GPT-4 Turbo is such a massive step up from GPT-4. And when GPT 4.5 comes out, I can only imagine how much we're going to be able to do.
There's any date when it will be out there?
Well, there were a lot of rumors it would be today. A lot of rumors swirling, but I would imagine we'll see that probably before Gemini Ultra gets launched. So just as Google think they're catching up, OpenAI will take another leap forward. The second thing to note, AI does make mistakes. It is not a perfect tool. It is very young technology. And while it's getting better and good prompting reduces hallucinations, it will still sometimes just make stuff up. And it does so very persuasively and very convincingly. So it's ultra important that you have a wee bit of a filter. We call it the human filter that sits between the output and the end use. So if you're creating emails for a client or whatever you're creating, you want to edit it, make sure that it's accurate. And that's where our expertise is still needed with AI, which is exciting. And the last thing is it's very easy to humanize AI and to apply our own kind of humanity to it. And while it mimics us very, very well and is only going to get better at that, it isn't human. It is a computer program, albeit very powerful. And it's just really important that we understand that it is just a computer program, can't believe I just said just, but it is software. It's very, very powerful, but it is not human, although it talks like us. Okay, so just keep that in mind when you're working with these amazing tools. Now, beyond the hype and the buzz, how can you actually use AI in your business today in ways that actually have tangible outcomes, tangible results, ways that you can actually see it making an impact on your business? And that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to explore just a couple of the ways that you can use AI right now in order to move your business forward today, not when the tools get better. You know, it's good enough now. And while a lot of people are out there just missing the point of AI, those that are utilizing and harnessing it, especially in their business and entrepreneurial journey properly, are seeing some amazing results. And I can say the same for our own brand. We launched it cold from scratch, 9 months ago. While we haven't made as much money as we were in our agency, we are a 6-figure brand already, which is impressive, given that we've only been doing it for 9 months. But we like to provide good value and great products. Before we jump forward, here's a really interesting quote from Sam Altman, the CEO, former CEO, and current CEO of OpenAI. We have to be ready for a world where global GDP goes up 50% a year for a couple of decades. There will be less jobs, but the amount of global wealth will just skyrocket. There's a lot of things we have to figure out: how people will find meaning, community, but a lack of material abundance will not be a problem. Now, they're pretty big words, and while he's obviously there to hype AI because he's going for world domination with OpenAI, the fact is we can't really wrap our heads around what's coming. It's very hard to imagine what AI will ultimately do to our society, to the way we do business and the way we interact. But according to this guy who's pretty much in the know, he sees massive, unfathomable spikes in GDP. If that happens, then having a business and having your business ready to take advantage of that wealth transfer and that growth, that's what we're all about here. So
when you say GDP, what do you refer to? It's GPT, or what's GDP?
Apologies, GPT. When you hear me say GPT, I'm just referring to OpenAI's base AI model that sits on ChatGPT, sits on top of GPT, and they have GPT 3.5, 4 Turbo, and so on. Yeah. So I've become lazy. When I say GPT, I'm just referring to OpenAI's product. Okay. So obviously one of the obvious use cases in business is marketing. Marketing is obviously how we connect our products with our customers and tell them all about us. So I'm going to just take you through a few of the ways that ChatGPT and AI can be used right now in your business. And we've been testing this with a number of people. We've had a lot of people through our courses which deal with this stuff, and I'm not here to sell those today. What I'm here to do is show you, that we have real use cases with this and it works. So you're going to get clarity on your unique value proposition. Now, I'm in Chiang Mai, Thailand at the moment, just avoiding rainy season where I live, so traveling. And I'm meeting with a lot of entrepreneurs, digital nomads, and it's amazing when you ask what they do, just how fuzzy their idea is, or how fuzzy they are at explaining their business. What AI does is just gets rid of all the fluff and gives you absolute clarity on exactly how you add value to your clients, what your unique value proposition is. It'll give you clarity on what moves the needle in your marketing, right? Because we can often do a lot of work, but it isn't necessarily driving the business forward. And as a business owner, you'll know how often you're probably stuck with what I call unproductive tasks that you have to do, but don't actually move the business forward. And obviously the most important thing that I think in marketing, at least, is the ability to get clarity on your perfect customer. And that leads into alignment and personalization of marketing. So one of the biggest things we found with business when we were helping them with their marketing is they didn't really take a lot of time to research their target market. They had a vague idea of who their market was, or we sell to agencies, for example. But when you want to actually drill down and understand their emotional drivers, what gets this target market to make a purchase or a sign-up decision, what are their typical objections, where are they, where are their eyeballs? You want to have a really deep demographic, psychographic breakdown of your target market and create avatars. So one thing we found with AI was just how well it seems to know target markets. So we've developed a target market prompt that will allow you to align all your marketing with AI precision to that specific target market or avatar. And that's very powerful, because that's probably in marketing the biggest challenge is, how do I take what I do and make this person want to buy it in a way that is going to resonate and really authentically even, connect with them and move them forward on that customer journey. So AI is very, very good at this side of things. And once you have your target market, you can align all your marketing assets to that market using AI. So for example, here is one of our prompts. This isn't the whole prompt. The whole prompt won't fit on the screen, but I have a document with the 3 prompts that you'll see today, including this one. So this will give you an idea of we have a 5-point prompt structure. We're not going to get into that today, but I have free training on that in our group. But the key here is you'll see I've highlighted or made larger 2 of the lines in context. And this is where you can personalize the AI and this prompt to your specific business. So all you need to do is tell it a high level about who your rough target market is in your mind. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then you tell it your offer. So what is it you're selling to these people? And you've just told us earlier what you're doing. So you would just tell ChatGPT, I'm doing this, this is how we help people. And then you just run the whole prompt and it will spit out all these amazing outputs. Where you're going to find stumbling blocks with them, the sort of questions they're going to have, the objections they'll have with your product specifically, the type of language that resonates with them, and so on. So this is going to collapse very rapidly your research phase when you're doing target market and your understanding. So it's very, very powerful. And many of our prompts will just have a placeholder saying, paste your target market here, and you can use the output from this prompt. So this just gives you a bit of an idea. And at the end of this, if you're still here, I'll give you a link to this prompt and the other ones. My favorite thing about AI, it lets us go fast. And I mean rapidly fast. 3 weeks of customer market research can be done in an hour now. You can create content faster. You can bring an offer to market within 24 hours from idea. You can use AI to get clarity on that unique value proposition, align it to the proposed target market, and get it out there and start testing it within 24 hours, something we couldn't do before. So that'll collapse your marketing workflows. And we assume that if you're doing better marketing more often and faster, then you should see, especially when it's aligned, growth start accelerating, which is ultimately what we want to see in our businesses. And the last thing I've got for marketing is competitor research. And again, knowing your target market is important, but also knowing the state of the market is also very important. So you can use AI to scrape your competitor websites. You can find gaps in the market that you can exploit in your own offer, and you can enhance your offers, taking in all that information so you're able to outcompete. So for those that aren't using AI, they're going to be in a bit of a rough place when people start doing this sort of thing. So here's a website scraping prompt, very simple. And again, it's very long. So I've just highlighted the key parts that are going to personalize it and show you what it's about. So it's real easy. You just take this, the website URL, put your competitor's URL in there, and that's it. Paste the prompt into ChatGPT and run it.
Yeah, usually you needed a plugin to scrape website, and now you don't need the plugins.
You no longer need the plugin. So this, when I originally built it, was for the Web Pilot plugin with ChatGPT, but now they have inbuilt search immediately. So you don't even, it's seamless. You can just put this in and it will automatically search the web. You can run this in Bing. I haven't tried it in Bard. Claude doesn't have internet access, but all these prompts will work on other AIs, not just ChatGPT, so long as it has web access. So yeah, this is real fun. It's going to give you gap analysis, a SWOT analysis of their offer, and which you can't see is all the rest of this prompt. You're going to get a lot of very valuable output that's going to help inform your strategy when you are presenting your offer to the market, in terms of just, especially when you combine it with your learnings about your target market, you can start getting to some real deep outputs that will blow your mind. Okay, so that's it for marketing. Very powerful. It's helped us immensely. We have one of our landing pages, you know, we sold our first 100 of our courses. Now we obviously have a community that know and trust us. So you know, when we sell a new product, we have people that are lining up for it. But our first 100 sales came through at 19.3% conversion rate. And we used AI to generate the landing page copy. So that's advanced prompt mastery. I've got the link in the bottom of the document that you'll get at the end of this. So you can check it out, and you'll see that not all AI generated output is bad. In fact, you may not even be able to pick that this is AI generated. So yeah, a lot of fun. Okay, let's move into the second key area that ChatGPT and AI can help move our business forward. And we'll look at strategy and planning. And that's my main role as strategist in business consultancy. So I have a business partner, Andy, who is part of Evolution Unleashed. He's the systems guy. I'm the strategy guy. And when we combine those talents, it's very powerful. And you can really get clarity moving forward with your business model, your direction. So let's look at some of the ways we can use strategy and planning in our business. And one that is often overlooked is your role as a business owner. And I can tell you, having dealt with so many business owners and through consultancy, through sitting on advisor boards, through being pretty active in the startup space, a lot of the bottlenecks in a business can be directly attributed to the business owner not letting go, having too much control, not having clarity on their role, trying to be all things to all people. And I've been there, done that. I've made these mistakes myself. And as you'll probably know, it can be quite draining. In fact, you'll spend a lot of your time putting out fires. So with AI, you can actually align your role to your passions and your strengths in your business, and use AI to sort of figure out how to, get that heavy lifting, the stuff you are sort of holding the business up on, done by either outsourced or automation. So very powerful. You want to work, when you start understanding how to align your role with AI to your business, it'll help you work on the right things, the things that make a difference. It'll eliminate those fires so you're not spending all that time on it. It'll align your role to your business in a way that empowers you, brings back the passion that you had when you first started your business, because you'll offload all the stuff that you're not so wired for. And it'll help you allocate your resources more efficiently. So, what's the best use of your time, your money, and your human or staff resources, so you can get more done with less inefficiency. And I guess that's, leads into the next thing. AI is just going to eliminate inefficiencies. So if your business is helping solve inefficiencies, you need to get your head around AI sooner rather than later, because AI will rip the rug out from under you. So what we found very powerful with AI, and I use that word a lot, but it is powerful. There is no other way to describe it. Well, it's plenty, but that's how I like to. It'll identify gaps in your processes, your systems, your communications, and even through your business modeling, maybe even gaps or blind spots that you don't even know exist right now. It'll help you build better workflows and SOPs that reduce or even eliminate inefficiency, especially when you harness AI into the mix. And once you've got that, it'll rapidly make your business scalable. Now, look, to have a scalable business, you need an efficient way to deliver value to your customers or clients, which means it has to be repeatable. I remember one of our clients would spend 6 hours putting together personalized proposals for every lead that they had once they'd had a call, and they were closing only 1 in 5. Now, they were high value clients, tens of thousands of dollars, but it basically meant they were spending 30 hours per client one just on creating proposals. And then the issue flowed right through their business because they customized each solution to that degree. What happened was they just had chaos running through their agency. Every time they bring on a new client, there was no duplication, there was no systemization, They just sort of winging it as they go. And it was absolute chaos, which created all the fires and just robs your business of the ability to scale. You cannot scale inefficiencies. It's like speed wobble in a car. The faster you go, the bigger those wobbles become, and it will wipe you out. So using ChatGPT, you can eliminate those gaps and inefficiencies and your blind spots, which will allow you to have a far more scalable business model. So here's a case study from our own agency. So we would charge $25,000 for what we would do, which is pretty comprehensive. It would take 10, 12 weeks, I suppose. In fact,
what exactly did you offer the clients?
So we had a free workshop called Get Unstuck, Tame the Chaos, Get Unstuck, and Scale Your Agency Fast. It was an offer for agencies to help them systemize their business model and automate their client acquisition, because many of these agencies are run by creatives, people that are very creative, but they kind of don't like systems and feel it traps them, when in reality it frees them up to be creative. So that's what we were helping with.
Wow, super important.
Yeah, hugely important. So you can see our blended average was 162 hours that we would spend per client. And when we broke that down, a lot of that was, having 3 of our team on a call with the client multiple times. So there was a lot of just inefficiency because it was such a long project and you have to keep the clients in the loop. We just had so many meetings. And what happened once we incorporated AI into this workflow, and we, this sort of pioneered our foundations using ChatGPT as your co-pilot model, we were able to collapse that workflow down to around 30 hours, maybe 32 hours, I think, once we actually ran it through properly. And, instead of spending 90 to 120 days delivering for a client, we could deliver in 15 to 20 days, making us more attractive, reduce the amount of time we have to spend with the client. Our meeting times collapsed, which is how we went from 162 down to 30. We were able to systemize. So even though every agency had completely different sort of problems, we were able to systemize at a high level and have a process that we were working through, which was flexible and still enabled that personalization, customization, without running us off the rails into the world of inefficiency. So, some huge impacts that can be had on just collapsing your workflows alone, or what we call our value delivery frameworks.
Yeah. Also, when you provide faster, so you also can ask for larger amount of money because people want the result fast.
Well, what we liked most was our outputs were actually better. What we were delivering to clients was better than what we were able to previously as well. So you're right. We could have put our prices up. We could also put our prices down to be more competitive. But at the end of the day, I don't miss the model. I don't miss dealing with all that chaos every day, especially when the business owner was often a lot of the problem. So, we spent a lot of time working on how to use AI to sort of realign your role to your passions and strengths. But yeah, fascinating. But I do not miss having clients, I can tell you that. But it's a necessary part of most people's journey. So another area that we found immense help, probably launching Evolution Unleashed. This gave us our initial roadmap. We stuck to it pretty closely, and we over-delivered on sort of the outcomes and milestones that we'd set. So it will help you create actionable strategy to grow your business in a sustainable and scalable way. Now, obviously, you've got to solve all those inefficiencies first, but then, the planning can help with that. It helps us set milestones and understand, not just we want to grow from this money to this money. Well, what will that look like from an organizational point of view? What will my organizational structure have to evolve to from here to here to here at each of these milestones? And when you sort of are able to bring all these different things together, AI can just join the dots very rapidly, understand how each one implements or impacts the whole, and can find that synergy between them all. So understanding, what your organization will look like at each of the milestones that you set is very, very good in terms of planning out your human resource, your capital expenditure, and knowing, when you need to add people without having these great big sort of helicopter ups and downs. And it'll also help you build a weekly execution plan that moves you towards those goals. I would say that GPT or ChatGPT, we often use Playground, which is the base model, accessing the base model or using API. But strategic planning is probably that, and marketing has been where we've had the biggest impacts for sure.
Well, so by the way, so why do you use the Playground and not the regular version of the GPT?
Oh, sometimes I run out of prompt and responses with ChatGPT. So Playground, I can do a little more. You have a bit more flexibility. And also when you're using Playground, you're not giving away your data to OpenAI. They don't use that data.
Cool.
In their training. There's a whole bunch of questions we have to ask as businesses about protecting our intellectual property, because if you give it to an AI through ChatGPT right now, you have to remember that according to their terms and conditions, they can use that information in their training data. So just be careful you don't put anything proprietary into ChatGPT.
Cool.
Okay, case study. So we launched a course called Foundations, and we did a live cohort where we only took 5 people through it, one-on-one, or we had group meetings, but it was basically we'd take them through it, have someone to bounce it around with. And one of those guys was Joel, who has a DexaFit business in Seattle. And when he came on board, he had a great business, but it was struggling in a number of areas. And what were we able to do over that period of time? Using AI purely, we aligned his offers to his market, created synergy between his offers. So he had his scans, but he had nutrition, he had health coaching, and he didn't really have a good way to bring them all together. He was able to map out the customer journey at a very deep level, which then meant he was able to automate the lead generation and client acquisition, which is important. I think when you don't have to worry about clients, they just, you've got that sort of dialed in, you can focus on moving, the things that move your business forward. And it also helped give him immense clarity on his business model and the role that he had in his business. So his results have been nothing short of spectacular. So when he joined us in July, he was around 18K to 20K, same in August as we were working through it. September, he'd started implementing. By October and November, fully implemented. He's had to move premises. One of the biggest strategies that came out of it, one of the gaps that he realized was in the market was the police and fire brigade stations and whatnot. They had fitness requirements, especially firemen. So he started reaching out to them. And what do you know? He signed up a bunch. So this is just where that clarity has tangible outcomes. It's all well and good to talk about what you can do with AI, but I'm more interested in tangible outcomes. Well, if we do that, what's the outcome? What's in it for me? Will I actually see the needle move? And so it's always nice to see good people move their business forward. He's more than tripled his business in just a handful of months, which is phenomenal.
1 second.
That brings us to the
1 second. Someone has asked here, how do OpenAI use your data? Probably we're not sure exactly how they do it, but they do it, right?
Yeah, well, we don't know for sure, but they may well use it to teach ChatGPT or their models. This is how people are interacting. This is some of the use cases people are looking for. So I would just be very cautious. We don't know exactly what they do. We just know that they can.
Yeah.
But when you use API, they don't use that. They exclude that from, it's protected. Obviously, businesses building on their API do not want their IP being used. So that would be ludicrous. So API is a way around it, which is same as using the Playground, which gives you all the benefits of using AI without that risk. And you just pay as you go through your API account. Okay, AI and you. So we've talked about AI in marketing. We've talked about AI in strategy and planning. But what about you? You are the driving force of your entrepreneurial journey and your business. So what do you need to do? The fact is AI is a hugely disruptive technology, and we're only at the very beginnings of that disruption. Now, I'm living in Southeast Asia at the moment. I travel around a bit. I love it here. But I look at countries like India, which is the hub of a big, huge amount of development companies are born and made and used, created, done in India. So India is very strong in the development space. Gosh, words. And what's going to be interesting as no-code sort of applications become possible with AI, and we've seen that massive erosion in the barriers to entry, which is exciting. You know, you don't need to be a coder to create a SaaS product, and that's only going to improve. Well, when that product gets to the point where it's intuitive and easy for everyday people to create and code without experience in coding or learning coding, then all of those businesses go away overnight. The Philippines is the home of many of the call centers that are outsourced to cheap Asian labor, is through the Philippines. Why? Because Philippines English is part of their language, so most Filipinos can speak English. What's going to happen when their call centers are taken over by AI? It's already happening, and that'll just collapse that entire part of the economy. So I'm keeping my eyes on Southeast Asia, specifically those two countries. You're going to see a ton of disruption. If you are at the entry levels, you're going to be disrupted faster than the people at the higher, more advanced levels of each industry. But make no mistake, AI is coming for every industry. It's going to be a disruptive force in every industry, and it's going to change the world and business in ways we can't even imagine. So the trick is just to get ready for it, be prepared so that when the changes do happen, you're more able to pivot and jump into those. Okay. So what can you do as AI accelerates from here? Because we are entering some uncharted waters. And while AI is still in the hype phase and it hasn't really got into the psyche of everyday use, that is very, very close. So number one is upskill. The old saying, AI won't come for your business, those using it will. And you can see why. If it can power your marketing, it's going to be better at persuading people to buy your product than you're ever going to be. So how are you going to compete? So you need to upskill. So prompting, I think, will become the in-demand skill, at least for the next 3 to 5 years, and then that won't matter, but then nothing will matter. At that stage, we're going to be staring down the barrel of some pretty cool stuff. So learn prompting. You can go on and write, give me my target market, blah, you'll get a very generic output, or you can use a more advanced prompt structure. You're going to get significantly better output. When it comes to your business, you don't want generic, you want personalized, tailored, precision advice that's going to specifically move your business forward. You want to look at how you can integrate AI into your workflows. Now, I showed you that previous example where we went from 160-ish hours to around 30 hours. So you want to look at ways to systemize and automate as many of your internal systems and processes as possible. So to help you with that, because this is where you're going to get the biggest benefit from today, I think, it's amazing how many businesses haven't written down and systemized the way they do business. From value delivery to client acquisition to administration, you should have an SOP or a standard operating process to streamline and make efficient every part of your business. So here is a really cool prompt that you can use per task. So again, it's a very long prompt, and you'll get that at the end of this. But you just want to tell it a bit about your organization, the task that it will be created for. So whatever the task is, just tell it what it is. And then explain the process in your own words. Well, we do this, we do this, we do this, we do this, and then we do this. And, just put it all out in your own words. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just walk through how you do that task. And then what resources are needed? Do you need Zoom? Do you need any specific tools? And then note any other warnings, important notes, cautions, anything that somebody training would need to know, right? And then what the prompt is designed to do is create the most efficient SOP for the task provided, identify gaps that you've made, and show you new ways of delivering that task that you may not have thought of, that's going to not only streamline and make more efficient, but it's also going to standardize that task. And once it's standardized, it can be automated with AI. So the first step is to just start documenting your business. And this is where I think you're going to get the most value. Just sit down and create SOPs for the most critical tasks in your business, especially the ones that cause you the most grief, and it'll absolutely blow your mind what you can see and learn, and you'll go, aha, wow. So why am I doing it that way when I could do it this way? So I think you'll enjoy this one, folks. And then the last one is to, invest in continuous learning. When I say that, I mean invest time. So I have certain YouTubers that I follow. I keep my eyes on research papers. OpenAI just put out a new research paper yesterday, which is very interesting. So, and then new tools are coming out on a daily basis. So the reason you want to be up to date is so that when the right tool arrives, it's going to disrupt your industry, you're ready to go. You're aligned. Your business is running smooth, efficient. Your processes are all in place. You can grab these tools and run with it much faster than everyone else. Because, my philosophy is AI is going to come for everything. But I want to be one of the last ones, because by the time it comes for me, all the problems that disruption will have created will be out in the open and will either have been dealt with or won't be. But one way or the other, it'll be the solution will be there, and I won't be falling through the cracks. Okay.
So can you share the YouTubers you follow?
Matt Wolf, MattWolfe. He's probably my main one. He has a good weekly update of all new things in AI. So that's worth doing. There's some great newsletters you can sign up to as well. Many are free, many are paid. Life Architect, I think, is probably my favorite. I think it's lifearchitect.io. Cool. Very, very good newsletter, if I've got the right one.
Okay, great.
Okay,
one second.
Carry on.
A few questions. Which OpenAI ChatGPT version is the most accurate for Hebrew? In my experience, GPT-4, the new version of Turbo, is much better than the old versions. It's still not the best. It's like because we write from right to left, and it's not like all the languages, so it's not the best with the right and left thing. But his Hebrews is good, and you can find very little not very little mistakes. So you can try the GPT-4 Turbo, and you'll see it. Let's see.
You go to Hugging. Oh, sorry. I'm just going to answer that question for you. If you go to Hugging Face and access Llama, Facebook have an open source tool that you can use, and it is much better at translation than any other tool. It's by far the best. Now, I haven't tested it with Hebrew, of course, but Llama may well be the best bet for you.
1 second. You can access Facebook like Facebook language model.
Sorry.
Right now we can access Llama. There is
Llama. Yep. So you access it via Hugging Face. Hugging Face is where you can sort of see all the other AI tools that aren't quite as popular and aren't talked about in the mainstream media. Many of them are open source. Many of them are trained on very specific functions. So if you go to Hugging Face, you'll see all the tools available and instructions on how to leverage and use them.
That's cool. Great. Okay, great. You can keep going.
Okay. Just quickly tell you about our AI tools. We built two, built on our expertise from our old agency. You need some expertise. We build AI-powered frameworks, and we put a course behind them to explain how to use them. And eventually, once we're happy with that, we've got it 100% dialed in, and the technology is a bit better, we will turn them into SaaS products. But for now, we've got the marketing accelerator framework, which will deal with the stuff we talked about in marketing, and then foundations, which is hugely intensive, very, very challenging course and framework, but will absolutely take your business model and turn it through. So the free prompts that I've got for you, the 3 prompts that we looked at, I've just put a 1-paragraph blurb for each of these with a special offer. I'm not here to promote those. So if you're keen on those.
Also, I'll say, Stu, that I bought 2 of the courses and I really enjoyed. Also, I just bought like a week ago the foundation. It's very intensive, but we're very got me in a very better place, and I'm really happy that I did it. So I recommend everybody.
I appreciate that. Thank you. And we get amazing feedback from our courses. My biggest challenge now is networking and breaking out of that sort of Facebook bubble that I'm in and getting out there. So that's partly why I'm in Thailand. Chiang Mai's a lot of digital nomads and entrepreneurs and a lot of people in the AI space. So yeah, we're all working, we're all developing. So just a quote to finish, as you can read. I won't read it out, but basically I just love the fact that we can go fast. So any questions?
Okay, guys, if you have questions, so now is the time. People want the link for the YouTube. I'll share later on Facebook the links to Matt Wolf and all the rest. Okay, guys, let's see if we missed during the session. Someone asked, is it safe to share sensitive data from my business in my prompts?
Well, safe in what way? I mean, OpenAI probably don't, care too much about your business. You've got to decide, do you want your competitors to go into ChatGPT and to ask for a strategy and it to give your strategy? So I don't know how to quantify that risk, but I do know that risk is very real and you just need to be aware of it. I don't mind trusting ChatGPT with our internal information and strategies because, we've got nothing proprietary really in terms of what we hide. We've got some pretty advanced prompts and frameworks behind our paywalls. But aside from that, we give away a ton of free value. I think that's how you found us.
Through ClickFunnels.
Yeah. So our Facebook community as well is very strong. We have about 15,000 people. You're welcome to jump in. And that's just, we work on value and community. We think moving forward, the two pillars that will help you stand out from the flood of AI generated content is a community that stands behind you and value. Just feed free value. Let people see what you're capable of to build that trust and authority and confidence in you and your brand before you try and sell products, because people are going to become far less trusting than they are now.
Great. Someone asked, are there already useful tools for logistic, finances, and HR? If so, which?
Yeah, so a really good website is futuretools.io. Let me type that into the chat. I don't know if that worked, but hopefully you can see it. It's Matt Wolf's directory. So you can just go in there and browse through all the different tools that exist. Yes, tools exist for all of that. And if not, you can engineer your own prompts and solve a lot of those problems. So, we've seen recruitment prompts. You can upload your balance sheet or your profit and loss reports, for example, into ChatGPT now, and using its code analysis, which is seamless with GPT Plus. It will analyze your financial statements, let you know where you're dropping the ball, how you can improve, and give you an overall health of your business. So, very, very, I've not yet found a use case in business that we couldn't either create a prompt or a framework for, or a tool for.
Okay. Okay. So a lot of people wants me to share the useful resources that you mentioned. So after the session, I'll share it, and then on Facebook all the links.
Yeah. So I've just put them into a shareable Google document,
okay.
including the target market prompt. So I sent you that link right. I just did that right before I jumped on. So that'll be in your messenger now.
Great. So we have a document that everybody will see. A last question for a marketing manager: the best tools are creating good prompts, or are there other tools?
That's a good question, because that's my wheelhouse, and that's why we created our product, the Marketing Accelerator Framework. And it's a bit different. I call them AI-powered frameworks. Basically, you've been through it. But, we have a prompt like the target market prompt, and you'll get outputs. And then when you're using our follow-up prompts or our more advanced prompts, one of the placeholders will be enter your target market information. And as I said, when you fill it all in, some of our prompts can be over 2,000 words, which is why you need a prompt structure. We have free training on our prompt structure, role, context, objective and goals, instructions and guidelines, and presentation. Very important because it allows you to get real clarity on the input, and the better your input, the better your output, right? So as a marketing manager, I have been in that role. I would say absolutely. If you don't want to use a tool like we've built, then learn prompt engineering, because many of the AI tools at the moment sound good, but when you look under the hood, they're very weak in prompt engineering. They don't have a lot of expertise driving them. They're just relying on ChatGPT to sound smart. What we found better are the tools that leverage real world expertise, and then the AI is just there to power it and to accelerate it and make it more achievable. The stuff we can do with AI today in marketing was inconceivable a year ago. It was impossible. So, the math or our marketing accelerator framework will give you a shortcut, essential tool, I think, for marketers, but up to you. Otherwise, absolutely learn prompt engineering and then learn how to drive ChatGPT to deliver the type of marketing that you need and want.
When you're deciding about your target market, so let's say you have a lot of options. GPT gives you options. How are you deciding what's the best target market you should choose?
Well, see, that's why we call ChatGPT our business co-pilot and not our pilot, because ultimately it's there to consult and advise, and it gives us options, and then that's where we have to make that decision. That's where we, your business, so you'll read through it, the target market outputs. Say it gives you 3 personas, and you'll say, well, actually, this is the one I have the most success with. Yep, and you immediately think of someone that you've worked with. So that's where your expertise and intuition needs to be part of the equation. You can't just outsource your success. ChatGPT can do a lot, but it's much happier when your expertise is blended with it, so you understand whether or not the output is good, and then you can make informed decisions. So, we don't let ChatGPT make our business decisions, but we use it to get clarity on the decision and make sure that we haven't missed anything in our thinking, and that we've considered all the different angles.
Okay, great. Someone has to share also the link to Llama in the documents. Will be great that we can play with it. Okay.
Yeah,
awesome.
Not so easy, but Hugging Face. Yeah, I'll send the link.
Great. So, in the name of everybody, I'm really thankful for you, Stu, for being with us, and thank you. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. And if people jump into our community and have questions, they can ask me directly inside our community. There's a link to that in the document that I've shared with you.
Yeah, people you can contact Stu. Stu is very helpful. I always text him, and he's a great teacher. So I highly recommend. And if you have questions about these courses, you can also ask me, and I'll give you all the details. Awesome. Okay, so everybody have a good and happy day, and we'll see you in the next sessions. Bye.
Thanks for having me. Bye.
Okay, thank you. Bye, Stu. Thank you.